Hello Kyle's Garage viewers, and welcome back to another episode. This one we're getting back to work on Betty. Yes, and we are going to be making kind of a complicated bend in the back side of the passenger side door jamb. So let's just get right into the video and check it out. All right, here we go. I guess I'm going to just, give you guys a quick refresher. You haven't seen the Bronco in, a while. Well, there she is. She's, alive, doing things. Well, not alive. Very much not alive right now. But I want to tell you what I'm working on today. Well, yeah, let's go check it out. All right. Here she is. Just a quick refresher. The last things that you saw me fix on this thing was actually removing the cowl to look at this massive, rust hole we have here. Which I'm not going to work on that today. But yeah, just kind of giving you guys like a brief rundown again. Of course, everything's pulled off of it. It's totally gutted. Yeah. We replaced this part of the door jamb here. And I haven't finished here yet because I still wanted to spray rust proofing and stuff inside these holes before I finish buttoning everything up. Just to kind of help, rust. Because, it's obviously prone to it. Of course, we rebuilt the bottom side here of the A-pillar. Very cool. Honestly, I really wanted to hold off on doing the firewall just for right now because I'd really like a metal brake. It would make things a lot nicer, cleaner, and I won't be like hack jobbing things and smacking with hammers for an extended period of time making ugly metal. Also, if you remember, we put the temporary body mounts in, or whatever, some kind of the structural holder guys. They're in there. Got an X-frame in the back welded up. Yeah, just to hold everything together. And that's kind of what it looks like now. Just completely rusty. Actually, that rust, it looks really, really bad on camera, but I promise you that it's just like a lot of it's surface, except for like right here. This is pretty chunky. And I might put floor pans in this thing. I really don't know. They're not that hard to do, so I can do it later after I get everything strong, so I can actually pull the floor pan out, because as you can see, we're using a little bit of that for strength right now. All right, hang on just one second. I want to make a quick announcement. I know this is gonna sound crazy, but all episodes, videos, everything that I've done so far has been edited on a camera, a phone, which is ridiculous. So now I'm going to be editing on a PC, so hopefully everything is going to look a lot better, and I'll be able to edit a lot more complex things into the videos as I learn. So you guys stick around, and hopefully the content will get much better. Also, I'm using a different camera phone to shoot with, so that should make a big difference too. It's a lot nicer of a camera phone, and has two different style of cameras on it. So, or lenses, if you will. Anyway, back to it. But today's project, as we did with this, we have to do over here, because that's pretty bad. Can't just leave it like that, of course. So, I am gonna set up the tripod real quick and show you guys kind of my plan of attack here. But first, let me show you a couple little things. Okay, so found these rocker covers, literally just rocker covers. They would slip on like that. Pretty cool, right? Like, all right, there's all a bunch of work done. Don't have to make that piece. Well, if you can see, really don't have to replace it. For real, that is not rusted at all. The whole rocker panel is actually really solid on this truck, which blows my mind because of all the rust in all the stupid areas other than the rockers. So, yeah. Anyway, let me show you something else here. This right here. This is, I don't even know what this is off of. There's no tag on the backside, but there is a spider. But anyway, as you see, it's got like these natural curves. And what I'm thinking is we can go ahead and slice, the chunk that we need off. Get it relatively close. We can always cut this line, bend it up, do what we got to do. It's not that complex of a bend. It kind of is, but kind of is not. I mean, we could always heat it up and beat it with a hammer because we're cavemen like that. You might be asking yourself, why don't you just buy another one of those and just weld it in? Well, they don't make them. They don't make that piece for this truck at all. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure I could go to a junkyard and like cut off a section of a Ranger or something and it would probably work out just fine, but I've got all this metal laying around. Might as well just fab something up. I mean, really, does it matter at this point? It's a rat rod inspired build. It's gonna look crazy with all the welds anyway. It'll be strong. I know it's gonna be strong. It doesn't have to be pretty because, you know, I'm kind of learning as I go with this by hand thing. And not only that is I don't have a lot of the tools that I'd really like to have, like a metal brake, and like a metal brake for right now would be great. But yeah, let's just start getting into it and see what we can't do or can do to remedy this guy. Alright, and if you notice, we have a problem. I need to get the seatbelt out of the way so we don't burn it, and I was like, heck yeah, I'll just torch that. I mean, I'm not getting it's a Torx head, but look at the top of that thing. Anyways, I gotta definitely get it off there. I thought about just torching it, but I didn't want to burn the seatbelt, so I'm gonna angle grind it and hope not to chop the seatbelt. Alright, got the seatbelt out of the way, and that might be a little better angle for you guys to look and see what I'm doing here, trying to get this to do the same kind of shape. What I'm going to do is I think I'm going to cut along probably this inside line or whatever, the bend that's going inward here. Cut it along pretty far until I can just lop this off so I have a whole bunch of extra. And then after I have this line cut, I'll be able to turn it up and butt it against there. And then after I get what I think is going to work, we will mark places and cut out all the old stuff and then go ahead and try to weld in the new. But yeah, there is some complex bends as we go. I'm learning as I go here on this one. I'm just gonna let it kind of do its thing. Let it do its thing. Because, you know, I gotta conform to the truck, and the truck is not gonna beat us. We're gonna get it in there, and it might look ugly, but we can always grind it. But even though I don't want to grind any of my welds, I will if I have to in certain situations. Anyway, let's start doing things. Alright, after our initial piece that we've made, I say it like we actually made it, nope. Somebody else made it, we cut it up. Is actually, you know, you can kind of get the idea there, what it's going to do. But what I think I'm going to have to do, I might actually have to cut this little bit excess off there to get that bend to be good, because that's just in the way, sort of. And we might have to cut some reliefs into this little pinch weld dealy. Well, what could be a pinch weld if we wanted it to be. But yeah, so I'm going to go ahead, chop off this excess as cleanly around this line as I can, close to it, so we can bend that up and see how far we can get it to go up this and cover as much of this rust. Well, you know what I mean. We're going to cut it all out anyway, but to get the, yeah, let's just do it. Alright, so I've been massaging away, and as you can see, this piece is much smaller and a different shape than last time. You can see a bunch of my little Sharpie marks and a bunch of hammer marks, where I'd massage this thing into kind of the correct shape. See if I could just sit there. Alright, so here's what my idea of getting this patch. Now, it doesn't need to be pretty, it just needs to, you know, seal up, and the door needs to close. So, the two important things was keeping this radius at least as close as possible, so when we put the weather seal back on, the door mates to it properly. And also, this line here was kind of important, because that's where the door is actually going to sit in. And this back here I don't feel like is going to be that difficult. So that, but anyways, on this one piece that I made, the critical things are this radius and this radius. Alright, just sitting in there. But yeah, on this side you can see the radius is pretty good. It'll be able to be welded in there, and once I get all the old stuff out of the way, of course, and look pretty good. It's pretty close. Now here, you know, I just kind of beat away at making it kind of fit the best I can. It's not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but down here we got that radius pretty good. So I'm gonna have to get another piece of metal and fill in like this gusset triangle-ish area and weld it to our patch. But yeah, I think it's time actually to start cleaning up. There's some spot welds that need cleaned up and drilled so I can get some of this old nasty stuff out of the way. And as you can see, this stuff sits behind this panel here. So spot welds here, spot welds go up here. I'm only going to drill a few of them. And just enough to peel that back and push out that old metal, and of course come across with our grinder and cut that off. Alright, I've been at this for a while. Got a good chunk of the old metal out of there. Got it kind of cleaned up and ready. Let me show you what I got. This is the first little patch that I made where it goes, you know, so something like that. That'll get most of it. I know there's a gap there. We'll deal with that later. So anyway, that'll kind of sit in there and that'll take up that archway. And it's kind of on like a funky angle. It's a very odd piece. Anyway, there's a small gap that I needed to fill back here. So I built this little piece here. It'll go in there like that. That'll fill up that. I know this looks crude because all I have is a hammer and this tiny little chisel, you know? Doing what we do. But yeah, what I want to do is I want to tack this in place first, or get it welded in place, more or less. And then I'll be able to you know, kind of get this piece also. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to balance this with one hand, but patching those two together is going to make the that hole go away, hopefully. Alright, as you can see here, I've got this piece tacked in, I got this piece tacked in very loosely, but as you can see, it's coming together. It's going to be the right shape. Of course, we'll still have this gap to fill, and we'll have to make that pinch weld for the weather strip, but yeah, so far it's looking pretty good. I'm just going to keep tacking and banging on it and getting it right. All right. Well, what do you think of that, guys? Got my little two-piece thing in there. It's all welded in. Welds aren't too great, doesn't really matter. I know that I have this gap here that I need to fill. Not a big deal. I don't even care if I have to, like, cool. Obviously at this point, since I've gone way too far and welded this in, I'm gonna have to put a small strip up here and weld on both sides. I don't really care. Like I said, it doesn't have to be pretty. It'll work. There's plenty of air gap around the entire door jamb for the door to fit. So even if we're off by a lot, should be okay. And I'll tell you what, if the door doesn't fit right, we're modifying the door because this is permanent now. All right, I had to take a breather for, you know, the night. And I came back today with a fresh mind and yeah, we're going to fill in that gap. I know the video is getting a little bit long, but you got to check this out. Alright, so here's what I come up with. I didn't really have any of this radius because it was so rotted. I have a template that I've taken from the other side, which is also, you know, pretty rotted. So, anyways, I had enough information from that radius to make this one. I cut myself, you know, this little piece here and tucked it in behind, right there, where would be the old pinch welds. And you can actually look inside of here and see the other patches, the one that I welded and the one that's just kind of stuck in there. And as ugly as it looks back there, I think will look plenty fine. Ah! Let go, Betty! Let go! And this piece in here, the actual filler, is shaped like this behind there. And all I'm going to simply do is just, of course, weld it. And, yeah, weld it. I got to clean up the metal, of course, first, so, haha. Alright, there it is, guys. I got it all welded in. That's a lot of welds, I understand, and you can say whatever you want about them. That's totally fine. I'm totally down with the trash talking. But yeah, if there's any experienced welders out there that know why those look like donuts, let me know in the comments below. That'd be cool. But yeah, what it turned out looking like. We can actually take a look at the back side. Back in there, and that's what the back side of it looks like. I can't really, hold on, let me see if I can get the camera in there a little better. There we go, that's a little better look at the back of it. You can see all the, definitely got good penetration all the way through. It looks good in there. I'm happy with that. Uglier than crap back there, but not important. Alright guys, and just like that, we got that little stupid radius door jamb thing, complex, angled, funky, three-piece design having, well, now three-piece design having, back together. And I'm going to keep on going with the Bronco. I kind of want to hit you guys with some ideas and just, I kind of want to talk about the Bronco, not right now, of course, but on a upcoming video. I got a few ideas and a few things I want to just get out in the open with the Bronco. Maybe just have like a story time or something. Let me know down in the comments below if you want to hear about the Bronco and or any, you know, things that you want to hear about it. I don't know. Ask questions down there and I'll do a whole video on the Bronco of questions and maybe story time or whatever. Anyways, guys, I know it was a long one. Thanks for hanging in there. Thanks for checking out the Bronco. Anyways, guys, take care. I'll see you next time.